Hey, how you guys doing? IVIcoX, and I'm on the 1.6.2. Yeah, so tutorial on version 2 of the Secret Waterfall. So I put some mock-ups together for you guys to show you the different things you can do with it. And so I put some torch keys on these two. I had some people go, can you use a button, can you use a lever? You can use whatever you want to. So to look at the features of this is I compacted this and I got the circuitry down to a 5 by 3 area, and this wood is obviously just cosmetic. You can see the one over there, that's all that it would take, which we'll take a look at. So it's got built-in inputs. We are using a hopper flop on this. We're using hopper timers to control our on and off, and then of course I got code-crafted's torch key. So opening and closing, nice and smooth. Get a little bit of uneven water movement on the left side, but other than that, the thing works great. And yeah, so got some changes here to make the make it a little bit more resource friendly. And then of course, just by adding in either a tower of half slabs or a torch tower, you can pretty much make this at any height you want to. So this is the same circuit as we have over there, exact same circuit. You can see that it does the opening and then it does the retracting. Now with the half slabs, it makes this extremely fast, so you don't have to wait so long, which is really good. The other one you kind of had to wait about 2 seconds or 3 seconds. So this one, you do have to wait a little bit because it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ticks of delay before it actually activates. So you wouldn't want to spam this particular one. You have to wait for it to actually drop that piston up there, and that's it. So yeah, the circuitry is extremely compact compared to the old version, and here you can see that you can just make it any old height you want to, and that is thanks to these hopper timers. You can adjust them for whatever you want to, and so now all we got to do is just do the tutorial. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is make an 11 by 5 structure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And then 5 over, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 11. And then you just want to fill this area in right here. Alright, so this is what you should have, a 11 by 5 structure. First thing you want to do is come down here, knock out our doorway, double piston extender, and that's going to be for our dispenser. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and do our safety system hole. So this is a 4 by 3 hole, and you'll need to dig 3 down. Alright, so once you've done that, you can come over here, and since the circuit's only 5 by 3, you only have to dig 3. But I'm going to go ahead and do a 4 by 5 area here just to give me some room in here. Alright, so that's this part. So now we need to build a hopper timer. And yeah, so this video looks like it's long, but we're actually going to be doing 2 versions of this. And I'm going to take my time on it so that nobody has any problems with it. So dropper, you need a dropper there and a dropper up, and we're going to make a hopper flop. So for those of you that may not know, this is a shift click, means you hold shift, which is down, and then you would want to right click, and there you go. You can place objects on top of things that would normally just activate inventory, as you can see like that. That's a shift click. So on this hopper timer, it won't work unless you see the tube connect in. If it looks like this, if you don't see the actual tube connecting into that, it will not work. So we're going to go ahead and shift click a button on here, delete these, and we are done with the hopper timer. So we do need, I'm sorry, hopper timer. We are done with the hopper flop. So you can put anything you want to in any of the hoppers or whatever. It can be dirt, it could be gravel, whatever, you know, whatever cheap material you have on you. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. And so I'm going to shift click on this real quick. There we go. So off of this dropper, 2 over, 1 up, just like that. Going to need redstone here, and then we're going to need a comparator, and then we're going to need a repeater. Now you can go ahead and do a little test and see how this works. What it does is this one's facing up, so it sends it and drops it in there. Then when you hit it again, it sends it into this. So it's a T flip-flop basically. So here we're going to need a torch, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a red wool for the circuit. Of course, you can make this out of whatever you want to. These are just it's my texture pack. So we want to cover this area up here. Now I like to make a little L like that. This is where my pistons are going to sit, so 3 like this. And of course you have the option to just bring it straight forward, but this is the way I do it, so you know, you can do this however you want to. Alright, so underneath this we're going to do an inverted pulse lengthener. It sounds funny, but you'll see why, and it's actually really cool. So 3 torches and then a 4th, and then redstone, and you'll see it connect in, causing this to drop down instantly. And so what we're going to do is put in a pulse lengthener here, but because it's inverted, it's going to give us the exact opposite of what we're looking for. What that means is it's going to do a delayed extension and an instant retraction. So it's basically working in the reverse order. The reason for that is to give the water time to fall down before it extends up, and then of course we want the opposite when the water is being turned off. So that's what that's for. Okay, so sticky piston. I'm going to go ahead and use a red block here, and then we're going to go ahead and grab blue wool. And I will remind you guys that this is an actual, most of the circuitry on here is based on CMBs. It's just changed up a little bit, so I will link him, and I will link Code Crafted as well. So 3 blocks like this, and so come up 2 off of that and then delete that one. Do the same here, 2 and then delete, and then 2 blocks up above you should have a spacing of 4 now here. Go ahead and put 4 sticky pistons for our jeb door, just like that, and then whatever material you're making this out of. Okay, so repeater has to be on 3 ticks. I put these notches on so you could see. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Alright, so redstone, torch, and redstone. And that's going to activate our secret jeb door. And then this is going to extend our jeb door, so 1 torch here, redstone there, don't forget that redstone, and then this is going to update all that. Alright, so next thing we need to do is come underneath here and put a walkway, so 4, and then put 2, 2, and then 4, and a block there. And so I wanted to show you guys how this works, just in case you might not know. As soon as this redstone powers that, it will update both those, giving us a secret entranceway, and then you can just fill in these last 3 blocks. Place that one there for a marker. And one last thing is we need a torch here. So I'm going to actually go underneath so you guys can see and make sure everything is there. Don't forget the redstone there. And make sure everything's nice and neat looking. You have the exact same thing as me. Alright, so on version 1 people had a lot of issues with this, and so I'm going to go through it kind of slow. So 2 pink blocks, and then a repeater on 2 ticks, 2 pieces of redstone like that. Then you want to come around the front and put 2 sticky pistons like that, and then the material you're making this out of. Alright, so we are done with blue. I'm going to go ahead and grab yellow. Alright, so we're just going to do the double piston extension circuit. because I don't want this to get too confusing for you guys, and we're going to test it and I'm going to show you, Alright, so go ahead and grab yourself a lever, and we are going to need to do some stuff before we go any further. So this needs to be a normal piston. It's going to hold our gravel, and so I wanted to show you guys this. And so this is the double piston extension circuit, and it needs one more piece to it, but I did want to show you what these 4 blocks do. It gives you an extension but not a retraction. So if you're not getting a retraction on this, it's this circuit, something's wrong with it. So as you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 in a step pattern, and then you need a torch here and here, and then right across from that torch, this is going to be powering this line of redstone here that we're going to be putting in, like that. And now we should get what we're looking for. And there you go. So recent updates have made it so this thing works pretty much just like CMB intended it. You don't even need the magenta circuit here anymore. Recently just checked it and noticed you don't need it. Alright, so to make this a little bit less confusing, this is just the retraction circuit. The yellow is retraction, and then pink is extension. So I'm going to actually switch colors to orange, and this is going to be what's going to hold this circuit for us. And I'll show you what hold means. So we want the same thing, the same pattern, and then we need some redstone there. So you'll see here that when this is powered, it's going to give us a double piston extension and then a retraction. Okay, so this redstone is going to power that, and then how do we get the power from that? We put 2 pink blocks, a lever forward with a repeater, and then we're going to want to grab some gravel or sand, either one that you like, it doesn't really matter. So should be 9, and then when that lifts up, it's going to complete this circuit, and what it's going to do is hold the double piston extender out for longer periods, so that way it doesn't just instantly retract and make a big water mess. So off of this, we're going to need redstone with a torch, and then we're going to build a hopper timer. Now it's more like a pulse lengthener, but the way that we're using it, it's actually a clock. So easiest way to do this is to come on in here, just place a block, and you want to shift click like that. So I just shifted and held that down to put the hopper in. Then you do the same here. You want these to connect. If you don't see them connect, if they look any different than that, if they look like this, you can see here that that's not right. And then there you go. So that's what it needs to look like. And so where the torch is, we are going to need 9 pieces of whatever, dirt, gravel, whatever you got on you that's that you want to get rid of. Alright, so as a precautionary feature, you do want to check this after you're done building and make sure that nothing else fell into it, like torches or anything, if you were digging, because it will actually catch them sometimes. And you can see there that although it's not going in, it can actually cause some updates. So right here we need to have our comparator, and it's going to power the holder. So when this extends up, it's going to turn this hopper on and then power it so that the piston extender stays extended longer. And we're going to go ahead and test this and make sure everything's cool on it. Secret door open, safety rail came up, double piston extender extended. Now what we should do is see everything else go, but that should stay out for about 6 repeaters worth of delay. I'm not 100% sure on that. So that's that part of it. So we've built about 5 circuits now. So now we're going to go ahead and switch to white. We're going to still need our hoppers, and we're going to need a sticky piston, no more levers. Alright, so the white circuit, this one just comes over 2 blocks and then 1 up, and then 1 up like that. And then this is pretty much standard. So this is the default position for our hopper clock. So same thing, shift click. And I will say that it is easier to shift click when you are just standing on a block. So that is one thing we do need to do, is that you can leave this block in, but I'm going to go ahead and remove it. And we're going to need 6 pieces of gravel or dirt or whatever you guys want to put in there. 6. And you know, this of course is going to be alright, so we need white there. So this is of course going to be the control for this. So once this is connected in, it's going, when this gets completed, it's going to turn that torch off and start our hopper clock. So we need 2 blocks in front, 2 comparators, and you can see what level they're on. And then we're going to need a monostable right here, and that's going to activate our dispenser. Then you're going to want a pattern like that, and then you're going to want 1 block up and 1 down, and then we're going to need a redstone torch on this. And then a repeater to boost the signal strength beyond 15. And that's pretty much this part. So now we need to put our dispenser in here. And so we're going to need a dispenser, and we are also going to need some water. Now I put some extra safety features on this. The main safety feature is if it's on the on position, it's being powered. So what we want to do is we want to extend this before we go any further. Extend it up, get it all open, then place your bucket of water. Now that everything's off, as you can see, this torch is off, this is not monostabled, and everything's good on this. Now we can go ahead and grab a torch and activate it. By doing this, we're making it, by default, it's always pouring water. So now it's only going to shut the water off when this hopper tells it to. So the white is the control. So this should be done. We have the timings all set. When you hit the button, it should shut it off and then retract like that. And that's pretty much this build. Now all we need to do is just extend it, and I'll show you guys how to extend it. Obviously, if you guys are looking for a more compact design, you know, this is pretty much the end of your guys's, you know, this is the end of the tutorial. But if you are looking for other things, we're going to go ahead and hook up the input and add in CodeCrafted's torch key. And really nice, really small, and yeah, just cool. So this is the back output right here. And what this is going to do is we are going to get, let me grab a button. We're going to hit this button, and it's going to power down into this repeater. And then we're going to go ahead and change our inputs here. So delete that. I'm going to go ahead and grab a green block, and that's going to be our new input for this. So a little shift click like that, another repeater. And now everything can be inputted in there. So you just run redstone to a button or to what we're about ready to build. So I'm going to do another little shift click, come out 3, and this should be a, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 3 platform. And then we're going to want to build a 3 by 3 on top of it. And then knock out the center so it should look like this. And then we're going to put in CodeCrafted's torch key, which is 2 blocks, 1 up, and then 1 more up like that, redstone, repeater on 3, and then some more redstone, redstone torch, and then 2 sticky pistons, delete the back one, and you want it to look like that. So right next to the repeater, and then we just add in a block. And there you go, you can see it extended it, and now we've got a torch key. Alright, so right here is the best place for the input. Right there. Just like that. So this is what we want to do, is just connect them on each end and then connect them. Sometimes it updates and you don't want this going on and off really quick. You'll have to go up and fix it, and if you're on survival, that would suck. So this is the torch key. It'll open up our door. We got all our inputs and stuff. Everything's cool. Now we can close it. Should do everything we need to as we're heading down to our secret base or whatever. And so the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to extend it like this one. We're going to do the half slab version. It is the fastest. This one actually has less, it needs less time than that one. It's the same, because this is an instant signal, it's actually the same amount of dirt and stuff. We just have to add some more delay on the piston because of the height. But if you actually look in this hopper, you'll see that there's one less material because you don't need such a big gap. And then of course this is an optional circuit. So if you find that you can't hook those up, you'll want to just use a torch tower, and then if needed you'll want to put an inverted torch on it. So let me make it day, and I'm going to tear this up, and then we'll start on the how to extend this. Alright, so I just took the our hopper clock off the top here, and now we can go ahead and just build this up to whatever height. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up to 21 blocks. If you want to make it below that, you'll have to wire it up differently. I don't really have enough time to show you each specific height and how you'd hook it up. So we're just going to go to 21, which is obviously an odd number. So we know we got 11, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, 21. So 21 blocks. And then you'll need 3 here. And then you'll want to do the same exact thing we did originally. So I'm going to fill this in real quick. Alright, so it should be exactly 21 blocks tall to the top here. So you're going to want to delete that. That's where our dispenser is going to go. And so because we don't have any markers really, we're going to go ahead and just build the hopper clock first. So we're going to need a block there, one over. It's going to hold our 2 comparators, and then this is going to come over, one up like that, and then that's going to be where our torch is. And then we'll need redstone to power this torch off. Repeater to boost the signal strength, 2 comparators, and then we'll need our monostable here, like that. So we can go ahead and put our dispenser in now. So just to let you guys know, there is a optional patch that you may or may not need on this, and I'm going to go ahead and show you it real quick. Let me just put a bucket of water in this. So obviously if you guys are building this, you probably have built the original, and if not, you know, this is a good educational thing. So you may notice that there's a circuit on that one that this one doesn't have, and it's that magenta circuit. So if you find that your double piston extender is not working from being powered from the top only, you may have to put in this circuit here, which is basically, you just put, I'll show you, off of this redstone that activates our door, you'll need that, and then a block on top of it, and then you need some redstone connecting it. Now this one doesn't need it, but if in the future you find that the double piston extender is not working, you have the timings correct, everything's good, and it's not working, it may need that patch. So as far as right now, you should not need it because I've tested this in all orientations. I haven't had any problems with it, so you shouldn't need that patch anymore. But if you do find it doesn't work in the future, you will need that. So we have this. Now all we need to do is just basically put a block here and then one over to the right. And so I'm going to just explain to you guys a little bit about this. So what we need to do is we need a hopper timer, and we need to know what default is. So we're going to do the same thing we've been doing, shift click. And since I already know this one, we're only going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 because it's at 21. So we'll need one last block. So this is default. So when this is off, meaning it's all hidden, this torch should be off up here. So now all we need to do is just get this power, which is off, up there. So the easiest way to do that is with half slabs. So you can go ahead and mess around with a torch tower as well, but I will say half slabs are better. So this is how I do it. And what I do is I look at the top of the block and I place, you know, my half slabs, and then you come over here and just bring it all the way up, just stack it. This is the easiest way. If you were doing this on survival, you might actually want to, I would say, build a little wall to place these against. But there you can see that they match up perfectly. And then I'll show you which heights are the easiest to do half slabs. We'll actually count them up. And so all we need is redstone. So these work as resistors or even a capacitor, because they can only be powered from a lower position, meaning it cannot be powered down. So this is all active and done. We just need to add some more blocks in here, and I'm going to show you some height things you can do. So we need 14 down here, so 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So you can adjust these however, whatever is good for you. It doesn't have to be what I have it at. You can actually make this thing just perfectly right down to the wire. This is safer for me. So this would work if we hit the button, everything would be cool. But I did want to show you that half slabs have one problem, and that is, unless you get really fancy with them, these are pretty much the only places that they're going to match up correctly. As you can see, on each half slab you can put one up. Obviously that would disconnect, so that's pretty much it right there. You can use half slabs just like I got them here. Otherwise, you kind of have to make them match up differently. Like, you might have to go and do a step pattern of 4 to make it, you know, match up here, for instance. So yeah, just letting you guys know that half slabs, although are the fastest, they are kind of difficult to hook up. So as you can see, that would be, this is 21 blocks tall, and then if we were to lower this down by 1 block, the dispenser would be here, which would be 20. So you lower this down 1 and it would still work. 2 blocks actually, so it would actually be at 19 blocks. So you could make this at 19 and then -2 and keep doing that until you're happy. Then of course you can extend this up to a length of 15, and if you need to, you can actually put in a repeater to boost that strength, and you can get exactly 15 from this redstone. But since we're just saving material, that will be fine for now. So we can go ahead and just run a little test on this. We do need to actually, we've activated the water, everything's cool. Let's go ahead and just check it to make sure our timings are good. So torch key active, it opened up, split, everything works all good. And that's that. So it should retract it, perfect timing, everything good. And of course that's at 21 blocks, and you can make it taller or smaller, or you can make it at the minimum height, which we have over there, which is 11. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope this wasn't too confusing. The main places you're going to have issues is with this double piston extender, and unless you actually know how this works, it can be really complicated to do. Of course, if you're really good at redstone, you have no problem. So as I said, if you have it hooked up exactly like I do and you find it's not working, you may need this circuit here. And all that does is it activates it from the bottom and top and defeats any kind of problems you might have with orientation. It also gives it 2 different times as well. So it gives it a quick extension, a little bit faster than normal. And but since we don't need it, it's just an extra piece of redstone and torch. So as a final thing, you can put wood here like I did on that one, just to make it look cool. But that's all you need. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Comment, like, and of course let me know what you think of this. I did spend some time on this. The original version, a lot of people had just could not get that double piston extender working, so I figured that they would, if you knew a little bit more about it, maybe you'd understand how it works. So, alright, thanks for watching, and later.